Indeed, we were at the protest today where hundreds of small-scale fishers took to the streets and marched in the Cape Town CBD, and they marched to the office of the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. Now, the small-scale fishers say they are disappointed and they are upset with the latest quotas and the total allowable catch that they have received from the department. So earlier on, we were following them, and they marched all the way to the office where they handed over a memorandum with their grievances to officials here at the department. They are calling for various interventions, and they are calling for a number of changes to be made to this new fishing rights that have been allocated to them. But we have come inside the office now, where we were met by officials from the department, and they are joining us now to give us a bit more background on what the big issues are, namely the total allowable catch for the rock lobster, which has caused a great concern for the small-scale fishers. Some of them saying that the new allowable catch isn't enough for them to survive on. So the rock lobster was one of the big issues, but they were also saying that with the new allocation of fishing rights for the 15-year period, they weren't happy with some of the stipulations that were imposed on their rights. But joining us now, we do have the Deputy Director General of the Fisheries branch for the department, Sue Middleton, who will bring us up to speed and just talk to us a bit more about the protest and the department's position so far. Sue, please join us here. Good day to you. Thank you for talking to us.
Good day, and good day to the viewers.
Okay, so Sue, maybe let's just start with some of the issues that were raised today with these small-scale fishers. They're coming from various coastal areas across the Western Cape, many of them saying that they're struggling to make a living. But the big issue that came up today was the issue around the total allowable catch for the rock lobster here in the Western Cape. They're saying that that amount has been decreased by a certain percentage. Just talk to us more about what's happening, and maybe you can give us more clarity.
Okay. Thank you, Corbin. The West Coast rock lobster total allowable catch was reduced by 16% from the previous fishing season. And this is as a result of scientific recommendations and evidence that suggests that the West Coast rock lobster resource is in trouble. It's been overfished, and it is facing serious decline, and hence the cut in the TAC across the board for all sectors, the commercial sector, the small-scale sector, and the recreational sector.
Okay, then just in terms of the numbers and the figures with regards to the cut, could you maybe just give us a breakdown of what's allowed for the nearshore and then what's allowed for offshore for the small-scale fishers, and maybe if we can compare that to the commercial fishers?
So in terms of the West Coast rock lobster resource, 50% of the nearshore allocation is allocated to the small scale and 50% to the commercial sector. And then the small scale sector get 20% of the offshore resource. Okay.
So maybe I could just bring in your fellow official here at the department for a second. So now we are joined by Mr. Abungile Nkwankwa, who's the director for small-scale fisheries management here at the department. From your side, Abungile, maybe we can just talk about this latest development. That is quite a positive development, but it also has certain stipulations that the small-scale fishers are complaining about. So with this new 15-year rights allocation, maybe just talk to us a bit more about what that entails and why would they be upset about certain fishing species that they are allowed to catch where they aren't?
Good afternoon to you and to the viewers. Yes, you are correct. It is a positive step that the department has taken, and it has been long overdue. It's something that we are really working towards, because one would remember that this is for the first time in history of South Africa that fishing rights are allocated directly to fishing communities in the Western Cape, as it has been done in other three coastal provinces. This process started in last year, and we started the process of recognizing small-scale fishers, and almost everyone who applied to be recognized as a small-scale fisher is currently recognized as a small-scale fisher. We have about 3,800 declared small-scale fishers, and they are part of 62 cooperatives that have already been allocated fishing rights. Now, the fishing rights are different from the commercial sector because we had allocated a basket or a variety of species. And those species differ from one cooperative to the next, and that is based on the allocation or the application form that would have been submitted by that particular cooperative. So it is important for us to note that even if you look at the small-scale fisheries policy, there is a shift that we need to put in place in ensuring that communities have a better understanding of the new sector, and also in working together with communities because they come from past whereby they were fishing under the interim relief dispensation that was not really working for communities. So the department has put a lot of effort in ensuring that the sector is supported. That includes providing clarity that we will have to provide through the memorandum as well.
Okay. Now, we understand that there was also a memorandum, yes, as you mentioned, it was handed over. Just maybe what's the turnaround time and what's the way forward?
So what we have committed to is that we will have to respond within 7 days to the memorandum, and in responding to them, we are also going to meet with a delegation coming from the group that was aggrieved today. The purpose of that is to ensure that whatever we respond to, it's properly understood.
And that was Mr. Abungile Nkwankwa from the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, and also another colleague, Ms. Sue Middleton, from the department, who have just given us a bit more insight and a bit more background into the recent allocation of fishing rights and the total allowable catch, especially around the rock lobster, which has caused some concern and caused some disappointment in the various communities along the coast. Of course, a number of small-scale fishers marched to the department again today to voice their concerns and to hand over a memorandum with their grievances. The department has said that they will be issuing a formal response in writing within 7 days, and after that 7 days, they will also attempt to convene a meeting so that they can chart a way forward with the disgruntled small-scale fishers.